If you haven't visited a Buc-ee's before, you're truly missing out. However, if you reside in one of these 7 cities, your wait is almost over. Buc-ee's is expanding at an impressive pace. One state is set to welcome an incredible 3 new Buc-ee's locations. And let's be honest, let's talk about Buc-ee's. Known for its fantastic offerings, including a variety of homemade food, unique merchandise, refreshing drinks, and flavorful sauces, it's a favorite stop for many. If you reside in one of these 9 cities, you'll soon have the convenience of visiting a Buc-ee's right in your own backyard. Let's explore more about this exciting development. Harrisonburg's new Buc-ee's will soon be situated just down the street in Rockingham County, Virginia. Virginia has some unique regulations that enable smaller localities like Harrisonburg with a population of around 50,000 to classify themselves as cities. Typically, we tend to associate cities with much larger populations. However, Harrisonburg is also home to James Madison University, which boasts over 20,000 students along with their parents and alumni. Additionally, the city is strategically positioned just off I-81, a well-traveled trucking and tourist route that runs north-south through Western Virginia. Exciting news for residents of Richmond. Buc-ee's has started construction on a 27.7-acre site in New Kent County, a suburb of Richmond, and the new store is anticipated to open in 2025. Its strategic location, just off I-64, makes it a convenient stop for travelers heading to and from Virginia Beach. Fredericksburg is a small city home to just 29,000 residents, located halfway between Richmond and Washington, D.C. Excitingly, neighboring Stafford County is set to welcome a Buc-ee's, anticipated to open sometime in 2025 or possibly early 2026. This development promises to provide a fantastic new travel stop for commuters to and from D.C., as well as for anyone journeying along the I-95 corridor. Buc-ee's is known for its careful and intentional site selection. With only about 60 locations across the country, they appear to focus on a few key criteria when choosing new sites. The 3 locations in Virginia exemplify these criteria, offering insight into what Buc-ee's future expansion strategy might entail. This could indicate whether a Buc-ee's might be arriving in your area soon. In general, Buc-ee's tends to avoid selecting sites within large metropolitan areas. This strategy is logical because each Buc-ee's store is massive, typically requiring 20-acre parcels. Acquiring such large plots can be incredibly costly in cities like Washington, D.C. or Dallas-Fort Worth. However, choosing locations in suburbs such as Fredericksburg or Stafford makes the investment much more feasible. And realistically, travelers on the road often seek a spot to take a break and stretch their legs. A large Buc-ee's, boasting over 50,000 square feet of hot food options, various merchandise, and spotless bathrooms, fits the bill perfectly. This isn't just a quick stop to refuel your vehicle. Naturally, to attract people who are already traveling, it's essential to be situated near a highway, preferably between 2 major destinations. Consider the locations in Harrisonburg and Richmond as prime examples of this strategy. The Richmond location is perfectly positioned along the route to the 7 cities of Hampton Roads, which include Virginia Beach, Williamsburg, with its charming colonial Williamsburg, and Portsmouth and Newport News. Although many Richmond suburbs like Hanover, Henrico, and Chesterfield have seen significant growth, resulting in increased population, congestion, and traffic, Chesterfield even surpasses Richmond City in size. New Kent remains relatively undeveloped. This makes it an excellent spot for a large Buc-ee's establishment. Now let's shift our focus to Harrisonburg. Harrisonburg is a notable destination largely because of James Madison University, one of Virginia's largest state schools. Additionally, it's conveniently located near Shenandoah National Park. Interstate 81, which Buc-ee's is focusing on, runs along the western side of Virginia, extending from Roanoke through Charlottesville, home to the University of Virginia, another major state school. This highway serves a significant number of tourists and residents traveling in the western part of the state. This highlights Buc-ee's strategic approach of selecting affordable land parcels near major attractions to attract a high volume of traffic. Their upcoming location exemplifies these strategic principles even more strongly. Earlier this year, Kansas City's government granted final approval for Buc-ee's to construct a location next to the racetrack. Now it's only a matter of time before Buc-ee's Kansas City opens its doors to the public. This new location will be conveniently situated just down the street from the raceway. Interestingly, according to filings, Buc-ee's anticipates welcoming 4 million visitors annually. That's 4 million people experiencing Buc-ee's each year. This development has the potential to be significant. Buc-ee's is planning to establish a location in Ocala, situated just north of Orlando. It's likely that a considerable amount of Disney-bound traffic will make a stop there during their journey. Buc-ee's is expanding its reach by building a new location in Huber Heights, a suburb just north of Dayton. This site is strategically chosen, situated conveniently off the I-70 and I-75 interchange, ensuring it attracts traffic from all directions. Excitingly, this will be the very first Buc-ee's in Ohio. Biloxi is set to welcome Mississippi's very first Buc-ee's. Until now, residents have had to make the trip to Alabama to visit the nearest Buc-ee's. However, with the opening of the planned location in Harrison County, that is about to change. Ruston is a charming, picturesque spot along the I-20 corridor, which stretches from Dallas through Birmingham to Atlanta. It's conveniently located near Shreveport and 2 national wildlife refuges that attract numerous visitors annually. With the upcoming opening of a Buc-ee's later this year, the journey along I-20 is set to become even more intriguing. Louisiana is on the cusp of welcoming its first ever Buc-ee's locations, with not just 1 but 2 stores in the works. For some context, Florida holds the record for the most Buc-ee's locations outside of Texas, boasting 3 stores. However, that's set to change as Florida is soon adding a 4th. One of the new Louisiana Buc-ee's will be in Lafayette, a strategic stop along the I-10 corridor. This highway stretches from Houston, passes through Baton Rouge, and continues down to New Orleans. This development is exciting for southern Louisiana travelers, offering a fantastic new stopover option along this busy route. Looking at a map of the states around Arkansas, you'll see that nearly all of them feature at least 1 Buc-ee's location. Unfortunately, Arkansas had been left out. But that's about to change. Buc-ee's is getting ready to break ground on its first store in Benton, with a second location planned for West Memphis. Here is the list of 10 fortunate cities that will soon welcome their first Buc-ee's location. If your city isn't on the list, there's no need to worry. Given their rapid expansion, it's likely that a Buc-ee's will be arriving near you in the not-too-distant future. This expansion prompts an important consideration. What do you think? Leave us a comment to let us know. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to The Coconut Mama on YouTube at youtube.com/@thecoconutmama for more.